Back to the hardball and now to the sideshow. First up, taking it to extremes. Can't say we didn't see something like this coming after President Obama's speech yesterday called wealthy Americans to pay their fair share of taxes. Well, not long after the president's speech, it was the very face of all things anti-tax, Grover Norquist, who tweeted, quote, Obama's new strategy to divide America. Get the kulaks. Yes, that was a not-so-subtle way of comparing the president to Joseph Stalin. Stalin used the more well-off peasant class known as the kulaks in the 1930s as a scapegoat for all the economic turmoil happening under the Soviet regime. Really? Well, here's another far-right attempt to frame the president as some type of foreigner who doesn't really know America. Go old Grover Norquist. On a lighter note, couldn't be hard to find a lighter note than that. Party crasher. That's what it seemed like when an unlikely guest showed up at a fundraiser up in New York City for GOP candidate Rick Perry the other day. It was Democratic Congressman Charlie Rangel. Perry was on Rangel's turf, of course. He attracted some attention, Rangel did, on his way in. Let's hear what he said, what he had to say to the candidate, and why he chose to make that appearance as a party crasher.
I kind of think he's the best thing going for President Obama, but I'm a Democrat. Oh, I guess I'm here for the same reason all of you are here, figuring out why he's here. Isn't that so?
What a great New York accent. Anyway, fair enough. Rangel had another chat with reporters as he left the event before it was over. Why the early exit, he was asked.
I don't know how he's going to conclude, but I got out before they asked for money.
He got out before he asked for money. Smart man. And finally, ever heard of fact-checking? Well, it's something that South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley is treating as a new concept. For the past few weeks, Haley has been pushing for reforms that would require individuals looking to get unemployment benefits to undergo some sort of drug testing. And why not? Haley insisted workers at South Carolina's nuclear sites are drug tested and fail.
When we sat down and talked to them, they said of everybody they interviewed, half of them failed the drug test.
Half failed. Well, quite a startling statistic. Only problem? There's no evidence to back it up. Since being consistently pressed to back up that statement about half the nuclear factory workers having drug problems, Haley finally responded in an interview with the Associated Press. Quote, I've never felt like I had to back up what people tell me. You assume that you're given good information. And now I'm learning through you guys that I have to be careful before I say something. Well, it sounds like the governor's borrowing lines from Michelle Bachmann. Last week, Bachmann backed off her statement that the HPV vaccine can cause mental retardation by blaming the line on someone she'd just talked to. She said she was just passing it along. So how do we know what words are hers and which are just being passed along?